So today is a little bit of a special because we're in fucking Cyprus. It's fucking beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful little sea special from Paphos, Cyprus. The reason I'm making this video today is this. So recently a friend of mine sent me this little screenshot, little photo of his to-do list, right? That is nice. That is nice. So keep in mind, he has a MacBook. He just bought a MacBook for like $4,000 or something. I don't know. And still using paper. And it's all because the poor animal says it is too hard for him to switch back to his Notion or Note app when he's programming. It is too cumbersome. So I decided to make this little video to give you what I would call Digital Productivity 101. It's actually quite easy. So you have 3 principles of productivity on the laptop or machine or whatever it is that go like this. Number 1 is numbered navigation, which is very easy. So when you look at the upper corner in the left, you have number 4, so Firefox. My app Firefox is on number 4. So coding is on number 3, and so on and so forth. And when I go, like, this is now from the desktop perspective. When I now take this principle to the application perspective, I have the same thing. I can even go and say, look, on the Firefox, if I hit Alt and then a number, let's say 5, I go to the 5th tab, and so on and so forth. The numbered navigation also exists not only on the desktop, but also within my terminal, for example, besides Firefox, of course. So in my terminal, I have tmux, and I have the same thing here. Every window has a number, and if I hit the leader key, which is Control B, and then the number, I go to that window. And when I go to another number, I go to another window within tmux. So, and you have this principle, should have in every IDE, every program you use, should somehow support that principle. I use the terminal a lot, so I use tmux. I use browsers a lot, so I use Firefox, and for the client work I have other browsers that are Chromium based, but also in Chromium based browsers you also have Alt and then the number brings you to the tab. So over time that lets you navigate through your system with muscle memory just because of that. So the next principle in a row is bring me back. And this was the reason actually why my friend or what my friend was complaining about, that it was so hard to bring him to his navigation or to his notes application from his coding. So if he didn't want to use the numbered navigation, he should be able to do something like this. So I go now to my notes app right here, and then I go back to coding with Alt Tab. I just go for the latest used window with Alt Tab. I use Hyperswitch on Hyperland to do that. There's Python scripts for Sway, or in Windows you have Alt-Tab. It's a natural behavior in the Windows. And you want to have something like this. I don't know what app exists for Mac to do that. I have the opinion that an operating system should just have this functionality. It is just a must. And anyways, with Alt-Tab, you can always go back to the latest window. And then when I say this is a principle that has to be applied, that has to be applicable to apps as well. So when I go to my tmux now, and I hit leader key L, I have the same behavior. With leader key L, I switch back and forth between the latest used window. Okay? So this is a bring me back principle. Then of course, you have to be familiar with the shortcuts. I think that's a given, right? I think everyone knows that, or everyone has at least a feeling that shortcuts make you faster, right? So just an example why I like neovim so much is that I have my own little script. If I say I want to mark this whole thing, I could go to the parentheses and then hit %, and it would bring me back to the closing parentheses, whatever. I now have my little shortcuts that I wrote myself with a neovim. So when I hit leader and I hit AA, then it highlights me all the function. I can now copy it and use it all over, right? So that is just one example for a shortcut. just so you know. And there's, of course, every application has its own very specific shortcuts, and I highly suggest you just learn them and get into your muscle memory, because the more you have in your muscle memory, the easier it is to just navigate through. And yeah, like this, Windows and 4 to bring me back to my notes, to my Firefox. It's just muscle memory now. I don't think about these things, so I have more capacity to think about other things, right? So last principle is fuzzy finding, which should be self-explanatory, and you should not use tools that don't enable you to fuzzy find. Like, for example, again, back to neovim. For fuzzy finding any symbols, any files, I hit leader FF. And then just go and hit I just fuzzy find for any files in the file tree, whatever I want to have, right? Or I want to have a full text search, then I have FW. And let's say, what is that? FF, yeah, white color. And then I see all the places with the white color. And you want to have this in all the applications you use, basically. Another example to have fuzzy finding on your operating system would be, I think is also what every operating system, one way or the other, just supports. So within my personal hyperlink configuration, I have Alt and space, and then I fuzzy find through all the applications that are installed on my machine. So I think this is very basic. This should be supported by every operating system, every app. And once you master this, yeah, you're good to go. You're gonna be super fast. You're going to be very much faster than using the mouse. And just keep in mind, the whole video, if I'm right, the whole video, I did not use my mouse at all. I just used to navigate, I just used the keyboard, and I think that's the goal. So, yeah. Just one more time, Cyprus, the Cyprus Sea. It's just beautiful now. It's not super high. It's also not super windy. It's winter on the island. But anyways, that is it for now. Wish you a great weekend.